Whew. What is going on, folks? My name is Spice. This is Spice Can't Fish, and today I've got a brand new rod and reel setup. So if you guys have been following the videos over the past year or two, you probably have noticed that I've been throwing a lot more big swim baits. It's something that I've recently started to get a lot of confidence in, something that I've always really enjoyed doing, but again, I haven't had the confidence to do it all the time up until recently. But again, over the past year or so, I've really gained some confidence in throwing the big baits, big wake baits, big glide baits, big multi-jointed baits, big soft baits. And I figured it was finally time for me to give myself a nice little upgrade, and what an upgrade do we have today. Now, to give you guys some context, I've been using like a bunch of really inexpensive swim bait rods. Two of my 3 swim bait rods are actually the Daiwa DX-SB, which is like a $99 rod. They're pretty solid rods for what they are. Again, they're only 99 bucks, and when I was getting into the swim bait thing, I didn't know if I was going to be throwing them all the time, so I didn't want to waste a whole bunch of money on like super expensive rods. But they are really thick and heavy rods. Again, they are $99 rods, so they're not really built with like swim baits in mind per se. They are obviously swim bait rods, but they are super stocky, super stiff, so a lot of the time I've noticed that I've been losing some fish just because they haven't been staying pinned. Now, there are a few swim baits that obviously you want a super heavy rod to throw, like the Rome-made Mother or some of those big soft baits. You want to be able to throw a little bit heavier rods so you can actually set the hook through the plastic and get the fish in the boat. But a lot of those treble hook baits, you actually want a little bit more of a moderate rod, maybe like a medium heavy power, which they're a little bit more difficult to find. You can't really go out and just buy one of those off the shelf. And if you do, they are a little bit more technique specific, and they do tend to run you a good amount of money, like $400, $500, $600 for a rod. So again, since I wasn't really sure I was going to throw swim baits a whole lot, I didn't want to invest a whole bunch of money into a really nice swim bait rod, and just kind of stuck with the cheap stuff. But like I said, I've been throwing swim baits a whole lot recently. I've really started to enjoy them. I think probably next year I'm going to be doing mostly just swim bait fishing, just because again, it is something that I really enjoy doing. And so with that in mind, I figured I would throw some money out and get myself a new swim bait setup. So we got a brand new rod here. I've also got a brand new reel, or I guess I should say they're not brand new. They're new to me. They're not brand new rods or reels, though. I actually bought them secondhand from someone on Instagram. But yeah, we got a brand new to me rod and reel setup, and I am so excited for both of these. Now, as you guys know, I have 3 swim bait setups that I currently use. I've got a 200, a 300, and a 400 size reel, each matched up with their own swim bait rod, not including this one, obviously. The 2 Daiwa rods obviously have 300 and 400 size reels on it. I do also have a 7'5" or 7'6" rod with a 200 size reel on it that I've been using for a lot of my other treble hook baits. But I've been noticing that it's just a little bit short. It's not really what I'm looking for. The reel on it is decent, I guess. It's a Daiwa Coastal. I don't really have any issues with the reel, except for recently it's been starting to make a little bit of noise, so I have to get that addressed. But I wanted another like smaller swim bait setup. Again, like I said, I have the 300 and the 400 size, but I wanted another 200 size swim bait rod and reel setup. So I wanted to find something a little bit longer than the 7'5" that I've been currently using, and something a little bit shorter than this 8-foot rod that I have the 300 size reel on. Something that would be perfect for like a 200 size swim bait reel. So I got to talking with the man Smackin Bass over on Instagram. I'll leave his Instagram link down below for you guys. Super great dude, really fantastic at throwing swim baits. He's got a crazy arsenal of big baits, and he just so happened to be selling a rod and a reel. He said he's actually selling a bunch of his rods, but he wanted to sell me this specific rod with a specific reel to go along with it. So yeah, super big shout out to the man Smackin Bass. I don't know if he's watching this video, but if you are watching the video, man, again, really appreciate you selling me these things. I am so excited to put them on the water and see what they can do. But yeah, without further ado, we are going to get into the package. I'm going to start with the rod just so you guys can take a good look at it, and then we'll go over the reel that I got to go along with it. And then we may as well tie a bait on the rod and go take it out tomorrow, see if we can go catch a fish on it, right? I mean, that's kind of the reason I bought the rod, is to go catch fish on it. So I think we're going to end the video by taking this rod out to one of my new swim bait spots that I think I may have recently found, and see if we can catch our first fish on it. But yeah, I'm going to start by getting the rod out of this 8-foot tube, because that's going to be a process in and of itself. My room isn't super big, and this package barely fit in the room by itself, so trying to get another 8-foot rod out of this 8-foot tube is gonna be interesting. So give me one sec. Whew, alrighty folks, here she is. I'm obviously not going to be able to get the whole rod in the shot for you guys, but you guys will see it again a little bit more later in the video once we take it out and do some fishing with it. But yeah, this is the new Swimbait rod. It's a 2 to 8 ounce bait rod, I believe. I think that's what Smackin Bass told me. He wasn't really sure. He doesn't have the specs or anything on the rod, but it's a 7'11". This is a custom rod built by MC Customs. I'll leave them linked down below in the description if you guys want to go check them out as well. And yeah, fantastic looking rod. Again, I haven't put it on the water yet, obviously, so I don't really know how it handles baits or how it handles a fish for that matter, but looks like an absolutely great rod. Super, super light in my hand. It is a little bit longer than that 7'5" that I was using, but a little bit shorter than my 8 foot. It's kind of like that perfect medium. Again, I think it's like a 7'10" or a 7'11", something like that. But yeah, the rod's pretty much all black. You guys probably can't see this up here, but it's actually got those acid spiral wrapped guides. So really excited to try that out. I've never had a spiral wrapped guide rod before, so we're gonna have to see how that works. It's got a full grip, which I like. It's also got these weird little like spiral things that I've seen on Swimbait rods. I don't know what they're supposed to do. I guess give you more grip on the rod whenever you're throwing the bait around, but it does have these little spiral things on it, so that's super cool. Kind of reminds me almost of like a mermaid's purse, if you guys know what I'm talking about, like when sharks lay eggs. This is kind of what they look like. I'll pop a picture up for you guys on the screen so you can have some comparison to what I'm talking about. But yeah, super sweet looking rod. I don't know a ton about MC Customs, but I hear they make some pretty good stuff, and now that I have one in my hand, I can definitely see the showmanship and quality in this rod. And I don't know how much this rod goes for, like straight out of the box if I was to buy one new, but I'd have to imagine it's probably somewhere around that $400 to $500 price range. And I should add that I got these both on a fantastic deal. Again, if this is like a $400 rod like I think it is, I think I got the rod for $250, and then I also got the reel for $250. And when you guys see the reel, you guys are going to know how much of a deal I got on this thing, because it is, well, it's the most badass reel I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, I guess you guys are probably wondering now, what reel is going on this? You're obviously not putting the Coastal on it, are you, Spice? And you'd be correct. I am keeping the Coastal on the 7'5", but on this special stick, we've got a reel that is just so much better. Now, as you guys know, I am a huge Shimano fan. I love all the Shimano reels. Most of my reels are Shimanos at this point. I think I've got one Abu Garcia, a Luz, a Fluger, and then one Daiwa as well, that Coastal. But the vast majority of my reels, especially at this point, are all Shimanos. I think I've got like 7 or 8 of them at this point, and figured I'd add another one to the list. This Shimano is probably one of the more expensive, if not most expensive models that they currently offer. It's the older model of it, which I'm actually a little bit more of a fan of than the newer redesigned version that they just came out with. And I've been looking for this reel and wanting this reel, pining over this reel for the past, I don't know, 4 years or so. Even before I started throwing big swim baits, even before I had my YouTube channel, I always saw this reel and thought, this is the pinnacle reel. This is one of the best reels that money can buy. And when I saw it being listed for $250, I thought, I'm never gonna get another chance like this. I'm never gonna have another opportunity to have this reel at that price. So I figured I may as well scoop it to throw it on the brand new rod. Now, as soon as you guys see the reel, you're gonna know exactly why I wanted it. You're gonna know exactly the reel, exactly how much it normally costs, and the fact that I got it for $250 should tell you just about how much of a good deal I got on this thing. But yeah, I guess I shouldn't hide it anymore. We now officially own a Shimano Antares Monster Drive. Now again, like I said, this is the older version. They just redesigned the Monster Drive. I think they came out with a newer version. It looks a little bit different. It probably acts and performs about the same. And these Monster Drives, when they came out, were like $750 or $800. You had to specifically order them specially from Japan. You can't really get your hands on these in the States as much. There's a couple of like smaller tackle shops, like the Hookup Tackle, I think will actually import them for you from Japan and then sell them stateside. But generally, by and large, you can't really find these things anywhere. And usually if you're buying them, if you buy them new, again, they're like $800. If you buy them secondhand, I've seen them go for $450, $500. So the fact that I was able to get my hands on one for $250, I had to pick it up. Now I have casted this reel around a little bit. I was just curious to see what it could do, and it outperforms everything that I have by like a huge margin as well. Now again, this is a secondhand reel, so there are a couple little scuffs and scrapes on it, but honestly this thing's gonna get a little bit beat up as soon as I start using it anyway, so I wasn't really concerned about the actual cosmetic shape of it. In terms of functionality though, this thing is a straight 10 out of 10. Again, I took it out and threw it around a little bit. It casts a mile, and I am so freaking excited to put it on the new rod. So yeah, I'm gonna grab my new rod from over here. We are going to take my new reel, put it on my new rod, and make the most badass swim bait combo that I think money can pretty much buy. Man, look at that. Isn't it just a match made in heaven? It just looks so good on there. I'm sure it'll perform even better than it looks. I am so excited to take this thing out. So yeah, I mean, I guess the only thing to do now is tie a bait on it and take it out to a pond, see if we can break it in with our first fish. So I think that's exactly what we're gonna do. I'll meet you guys down at the pond tomorrow, and we'll see if we can crack one on this thing. Damn, this water is so clear. Looks so good. I should get on one today on the flash. I can feel it. I got one. There we go. Yes. Nice. Get up here. Oh, nice fish. On the K9. Let's go. Oh, he popped off. Oh, no. Calm yourself. Calm yourself. Calm yourself. Calm yourself. Calm. Oh, my God, dude. This is just freaking out. Calm down, brother. Dude. Yeah, there we go. Not a bad one. Yeah. What's up? Oh, did they? Oh, right on. I might have seen a couple of them jumping out of the water over there.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's not a bad one. Probably about 3.5 pounds. I'll take it.
At least 3, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Man, that is freaking sweet. Just had to take a couple of pictures with that one, but that's awesome. It's like the first decent fish I've caught in a little bit. On a Swimbait too, I like that for sure. Fishing's been super tough recently. Hang on, I'm gonna get this girl back in the water. I don't want to hold her out any longer than I already have. Goodbye, sweetie. Have a good one. How's it going? Yes, sir. Yeah, about a 3-pounder. Just a big Swimbait. Like a largemouth bass, yeah. Yes, sir. But yeah, first one on the brand new Swimbait setup, the Antares Monster Drive with that Miller Customs rods. That's sick. Hell yeah. Let's get another one. The bait of choice today is the DRT Clash 9. I figured it's kind of like a big jerk bait. And the water's starting to get pretty damn cold out here, so I figured, yeah, big jerk bait's probably the best way to get bit today. I'm throwing it pretty slow. A, because I don't want to go down super far. I've got it with the lip in. This isn't the normal lip. It's kind of like one that's angled up a little bit more, so it stays a little bit shallower. I've got the tail in the up position, I guess. I don't know exactly what they consider that, what mode that is, but it's just kind of giving it like a nice little dead walk side to side. I've just been kind of dead walk twitching it just below the surface, super, super slow. That's the first fish that we've had commit to it, and it was definitely a good one. Again, I don't have my scale, so I don't know how big it was, but I'm gonna say about a 3-pounder. Good fish regardless. And the rod and reel handled it friggin' beautifully. Fish came off on here once I got it up on the bank, but I think that's just because, I mean, the fish didn't have anything to hold the bait in its mouth anymore. All the leverage had been gone once it was flipped onto the grass. But, I mean, I think the fish only really had one hook, so it's just barely hooked. Rod was able to keep it pinned even while I was being stupid with it. The rod still managed to keep the fish pinned even though I was not paying attention at all whatsoever, and didn't even realize I was getting bit. But yeah, that was sick. First one on the brand new rod. See if we can pop ourselves another one. We're only about halfway around the pond at this point, and I think we're starting to get to the good area. This is kind of the side that the wind has been blowing into all day. It's a little bit warmer over here as well. The sun's been kind of beaming down on us. So yeah, I think we're about to potentially have another shot at another fish here coming up. But it is 1:30 right now. I can really only fish until 3, so about an hour and a half left. See if we can pop ourselves one more. By the way, sorry for the lack of like content here. I've just literally been head down kind of fishing my way around the bank. I don't know, I just haven't really been in a talkative mood. I've just been kind of wanting to try and catch myself a fish before I really did any talking out here. So I've just been kind of focusing on doing that. But now that we've caught a fish, I guess I can kind of talk about the rod a little bit. Like I said, it is a 710 or a 711, something like that. It's like a 2 to 8 ounce bait rod, so you can throw anything from, you know, like a tiny clash, I guess, or the Clash 9, or like a bull shooter, or something like that. Maybe even like one of those 86, like the Tempest gills or the Doom Riders. You can probably throw on this rod pretty comfortably. And then I can go all the way up to supposedly 8 ounces. I'd probably throw up to a 250 maybe on this thing, but I think this Clash 9 is kind of like the perfect bait to throw on this rod. This, a bull shooter, anything in that like 3.5 ounce, 4 ounce range, probably perfect for this rod and reel setup. The rod itself is pretty sensitive. It's got some good bend to it, nice and parabolic, which I like as well. I don't really have any real experience with like a real nice swim bait rod. My nicest one is that Phoenix one, which I think is, I don't know, probably about $200 rod when you buy it. But I bought mine for like 120 bucks, which I think is probably about what the rod would honestly be worth. It's a decent rod for sure, gets the job done, but it is a little short and isn't, you know, the highest quality. But this one, again, it's a custom rod from MC Customs. I'll leave them linked down below for you if you want to go check them out, like I think I said before while we were going through the unboxing part. But yeah, this rod is definitely a little bit higher dollar than just like a normal swim bait rod that you can just buy off the shelf. Where I do notice the most difference, honestly though, is obviously the reel. This little Antares over here, the Antares Monster Drive, is incredible. I've always heard really good things about this reel, like, oh, it's like one of the best reels money can buy, this, that, and the other thing, which you would hope it was that good for the price that you buy one for. These things are, or at least when they were new, were like 750, 800 bucks. But for 250 bucks, that's what I paid to get this reel. Like, could not go wrong with it. It is unbelievable. Outfishes all of my other reels, like bar none, not even a competition. Which again, you would kind of expect from a $700+ reel, but oh, it just got popped right there. I think I just got tagged right there. Hang on a sec. But yeah, just super dialed combo all around. What is this? Is this a trout? Yes, little trout, dead trout down there in the water. Someone walked by on the bank and said they just stocked trout in here a couple of days ago. Thought I saw something jumping over there on the other side of the pond. That makes a ton of sense if there are now trout in here, which confirmed there are. I mean, A, that dude told me, and I definitely believed him. He probably knows better than I do, but B, like, there's a dead one here. So there's obviously trout in here now. It's pretty dope. Maybe I should come out here with some sort of trout style bait. Maybe I come out here with the mother. I will not be fishing the mother here. That's a kayak fishing only bait. Alright folks, that is going to do it for today's video, as well as the 2023 fishing season. So, unfortunately, we only were able to go out and catch one fish while I was out fishing with my brand new rod. But don't worry, you guys are going to be seeing a whole bunch more of that rod here in the future. Again, next season I'll be throwing a whole ton of swim baits, so I am super excited to get that rod out on the water a little bit more and see what it's made of. First impressions though, the thing is absolutely sick. Again, I'm really excited to throw it around some more, see what it can do. The Antares is fantastic as well. Obviously, kind of like like a top of the line, best kind of reel that you could possibly get. Obviously with the $750 original price tag of that reel, it's gonna be something fantastic. So I wasn't expecting anything less than what I currently got, but still I'm obviously blown away with the quality of that reel. But yeah, that's gonna wrap up the 2023 fishing season. You guys are gonna be seeing a whole bunch of unboxings as well as like tips and tricks videos. I got a whole bunch of ideas to keep us occupied over the winter, so don't worry about that. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today's video. If you guys like it, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see some more content from me. Check and recommend. I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.